Well, there we are. So, contrary to what it says, this is not my first time playing Rimworld, but this is going to be my first time playing through biotech. Now, I've had a quick look at some of this biotech stuff, and I think I can probably make it work for me. I just want to find the ideal spot, and I'm going to prepare carefully a little bit so that we have a vampire and a Mechinator. Together they will land on this Rimworld, and then let's see what's going to happen. We can't land on the water, can we? Great for fish, not so great for you. Alright, what is this? Arid shrubland. There's got to be some challenge to it, so not one of those permanent summer locations. That looks like... what is that stuff? Pollution. Okay, sounds unpleasant. So I almost always go for a mountain base, simply because it's just my playstyle. And I think I've just found the spot. There we go. Now let's make sure the map is slightly bigger. I always like that. And then we've got a lot of... I've made sure there's a bunch of extra fierce factions in there. Whew, sorry. You know what? I need a drink of water, otherwise I may fall asleep. All right. Now I'm going to go with a fluid ideology system, because that always makes stuff more complicated, and when things get more complicated, I usually have more fun with this game, at least. Right, so there's a new blood feeding meme. Which means that if I start with this, I will have a worshipped vampire. Period, which is good. Worshipped vampire, awesome. And then I can expand it to transhumanist as well, then, and we will call it the Archist Blood Pact. And my people will be known as... no, my method is going to be known as the Renian faith, whereas the members will be known as the follower of Ren and Lark. And the ritual room will be known as the Temple of Wren and Lark. Now, of course, that's got to be a bird with blood color because, you know, yeah. Okay. Now, let's make the world something with a capital. Yep. There. Great. This is probably the worst religious story I've ever written in my life, but it is definitely something useful. Now, there are two gods here, of course. One is named Ren, who is the master of blood. He's male. He is going to be my vampire. And let's not call him Master of Blood, but let's call him the God of Blood, because obviously he needs to be a god. And on the other hand, we have Lark, who is the goddess of machines. Yeah, goddess of the machines. Oh, let's call him Goddess of the Machines, and then we have God of the Blood. There we go. Now we have to adapt this as well. The God of the Blood. There we go. Now, let's see. People don't care about execution, which is going to be fine because we're going to be sucking their blood out. No, you know what? We don't want them to be executed. No, execution is terrible. Respected only if guilty. But we are going to be blood farming them. Blood feeders are revered, obviously. Cannibalism is acceptable, not preferred. Apparently, blood feeding and cannibalism are not the same thing. Okay, slavery is honorable. I must have many slaves and then suck them dry for their blood. Now, you know what? The slaves get to work, and I will drink from those who are not converted. There are no rules for clothing. Makes my life much easier. Corpses are not beautiful. My people have intense bigotry. they want to join my colony or even be enslaved, they have to be followers of my faith. And my people love insect meat because that makes life easier. Physical love is free and approved. Research is very fast. And marriage name is always going to be the men. All right, the leader will be the divine bringer. I don't know. The master of blood. And for a female, mistress of blood. And it is somebody who will wear a visage mask because I just love those. Whereas the moral guide will be the voice of blood and machines. And that person will wear also a visage mask. And there's no other. No, good. So we can recognize our religious masters by visage masks. That makes it easier because then I can just use the same outfit for both. Now, the funeral will be no. Doesn't have to have a blood name, this one. But the Skyline, I can organize a Sky Lantern Festival whenever I want. And I will call it okay, the Seeking Ceremony. And it will seek us a recruit because they will follow our Sky Lanterns and come to us. The social festival is going to be something else. It is about yeah, we will find it the discussion of seeking. They will talk about things and then figure out that they know where an ancient complex is. And we will also have a dance party, which we can organize whenever we want. And that is also going to be a seeking anytime we want. And it is also going to give us a random recruit, possibly yes or no. Good. I want pew pews. Our building is going to be let's see, an altar. And we will have such a thing as a grand sculpture that we can build. Now, this one is going to be called... God, it's windy out here. There's a storm going through the Netherlands right now. It's making a bunch of noise outside my window. Altar of Wren and Lark. There we go. And the building will be... Anarchist Bloodstone. There. Now, of course, there are a few interesting things that might be found. We will call this the Book of Ancient Mechanics. And then we will also have an arc, which we will call the Arc of Blood. I know I stole that from the name was already there, but still. And then we will also have a relic, which is a fragment, and we'll call it the Arcist Blood Crystal. Yep. Which of course is made of jade, because jade is a crystal, I think. We are not going to be venerating any animals. We do enjoy sanguiphage, but we're not going to be preferring them because everybody else who joins will feel bad about that probably. But we are going to be doing robes, relaxed, but they like them. All hair and clothing is allowed. And I guess that is it. How about we save it just in case? Okay. Now, I am going to prepare carefully. And I'm doing that because it allows me to do a few things that I couldn't do otherwise. I'm going to start with two gods. Two gods. One of them is going to be a vampire, and the other is going to be a Mechinator. Mechinator? Whatever. Oh, this is useful. Many different kinds of people. Yeah, so a sanguiphage. There we go. He doesn't look like what I would have expected. Oh, there we go. He's a normal sanguiphage. Awesome. They can jump, they need death red, they have piercing spines, and they are basically extremely awesome. Okay, now, this is going to be Lark. Lark Teachings and Ren Gamings. So the Lark and the Ren are going to be there. Now, as I said, these two are going to be gods, which means they are going to be all-powerful. They're going to have terrible traits that totally unbalance the game for those two. And yet I am going to have a lot of fun with them. And also I want them to be something that does not, in fact, disallow anything. Cats. Yeah, no, definitely not. Explorer, writer. That's the kind of thing that Ren would do. Yep. How can you still not... Oh, he can't cook because obviously he was an apocalypse survivor. Yep. Okay, so Lark is not incapable of anything, Ren is not incapable of anything, and Ren is going to be biologically relatively young, and the same thing goes for Lark, which means, let's see, Ren has princess hair. I would prefer her to be. Yeah, let's give her flowy hair. Let's make her a blonde. Just because I can. Okay, so not incapable of anything, super happy with everything, check. Okay, now we just need to make them super. Which means we are going to trade them up and also give them awesome stuff. I'm going to go totally all out on these two, but I will not be telling anybody else that they can't join. Well, I will, but I'm going to be using a few people's blood farm. I'll explain that while I do it. Careful shooters. No, not careful shooters. They're super good shooters anyway. This vampire doesn't mind light. This is useful to know. Apparently, he's afraid of fire. Well, and now for the massively overpowered part. He's got an aesthetic nose, shaper. He's got Archotech installed everywhere because obviously he's a god. There we go. Even looks like a vampire now. Let's see. Now let's just make him look a little bit like me. There we go. That looks enough like me. His hair. Yeah, I'm gonna go for the warden look. That is my first god, right over there. Okay. Does he need anything else? No no eye patches, no blindfolds, obviously. Alright, whatever his clothing, we'll fix that when he lands, and I make him some new stuff. Ren likes the color of fresh blood. Lark, of course, is going to be the mech person. She is going to enjoy the color mech blue, purple, greenish. Yep. Holy heck, what are all these things? Ah, damn, this is gonna be this is gonna take a lot of time. If I make her my own kind of... Nah, she's gonna be a basic, regular human, and we can always update her later. So, she too gets the amazing god treatment. And she too is an archist. And of course it's going to be made out of hyperweave, or what is that stuff called again? Hyperweave, there we go. In that color. And yours too, a hyperweave in the blood red color. Okay. Now, this really doesn't matter at all. These are going to join us at some point. And we don't need drugs. I don't know what a basic subcore is. Oh yeah, good. This is going to be useful, so we can build more mechanoids. Beer? Never hurts to have a bunch of beer, I think. And we need some hemo. What is that stuff called? Blood stuff. Hemo something. Hemogen pack. There we go. Let's start with 20. Okay. Except we have no weapons. Sounds like an interesting challenge. And yet, it's not appealing. And I'm going to do it anyway. This is going to require some tactical play, but we'll see. There we are. This looks like a bot that can constructoid and lifter. Okay, fine. Let's look at the world. That looks like an ancient temple of some kind. Interesting, but let's not go there yet. Okay. Well, this looks like a good mountain for us to start in. And here we've got some building materials that we might want to use. So let's go find us a nice little spot inside this mountain, shall we? Now, let's see. We are going to be using so let's make sure that the god of the blood and the machines both know what to wear, when to wear, whatever. Nothing tainted, obviously, ever. Let's clear everything. Now, she's gonna prefer to wear a robe and a t-shirt and or a button-down shirt, possibly some pants. Yep, and a visage mask. Now, you know what? I'm gonna be making the priest out of somebody we recruit later, because this person, of course, is a Mechazord, the mecha person. So the goddess of the machines is not going to be wearing a visage mask, but she is going to be wearing an airwire headset or an array. Whereas the god of the blood is going to be the head of his order, which means that he's going to be wearing a robe. Probably Altex. When we can get it, of course. And he will wear only a visage mask. Alright, so he's gonna dress up, oh, she's gonna dress up like the goddess, he's gonna dress up like the god. They are going to be eating lavish, which means they're not going to be consuming corpses, but any kind of meals they want. Fine. He's going to do the same, but with the lavish meals grayed out. I always have to reset this at the beginning of the game. And paste, which is what I always give my prisoners, is only nutrient paste. There we go. No raw food eating for you people. Right. I guess that covers it. So okay, let's go dig a hole. You know what? Ben's gonna mine, Lars gonna build. Or unbuild, really. Wait, she was wearing a flak vest? And clearly she's got a bio-carded auto pistol, which he doesn't need. Which he does need, because he doesn't have genes to do something terrible that I've seen them do before. Oh well. Oh, that's good. We're gonna have power source. You know what, Lark? Why don't you first go cut those plants? Oh, well, that's useful. Oh dear. Hello, Arian. Good evening. How are you today? Not so okay. That doesn't sound very good. You want to talk about it? My day was basically fine, so I have little to complain about. It's a bit stormy out here, but that's all. As long as I stay indoors, nothing's gonna happen. So what happened to you today? Yeah, I figured you're probably not extremely far from me. Well, this is a complication. We'll build something. Big fight, huh? Damn, that sucks. Any idea if you're gonna be able to make up with her? I hope you do. I'm not gonna ask what it's about because, you know, things can be really private sometimes. Ooh, that's a tough one. I wouldn't say that my day was fine. It's more like I had actually not planned to be online tonight because I had actually planned to be driving my motorcycle around the Belgian Ardennes. Only I checked the weather at some point and I was like, maybe I shouldn't do this right now because storms and getting blown off mountains and stuff. Yeah, bad idea. So I cut my trip short and I came back here. Now, I wouldn't necessarily say that that's a terrible bad thing or anything, but it does make life slightly less yeah, no biggie. I mean, it's only a trip. And I hadn't actually planned ahead much anyway, so I just went. Basically, I figured I'd see where I'd sleep and everything. I'd already found a place to sleep where I wanted to, but I decided to turn around and come back. And I expect I will actually repeat it, probably next week or something. We'll see. I've got a couple of days off, so might as well. Now, in the meanwhile, let's see if we can solve the problem of Lark and Wren. 2, 3, 4, who are going to try and make a life for themselves out here in the rim. Except that when they tried to dig into the mountain to build a base, there was actually a big chunk of mountain that wasn't actually mountain. So that was a slight complication. But again, we'll deal with that too. Because what is life if not a series of giant complications? Definitely true. I think it was John Lennon who said in a song at some point, life is what happens while you're busy making other plans. I've always liked that part. Oh no, it's another opening. Well, at least I've got some sheltered fields then, but still. I was hoping for a nice clean mountain base. Now I'm gonna have to floor everything. Bah. Too much work. Alright, well, let's fix the power situation first. Yeah, have fun. See you around if you want to be here. Alright, cool. See you later. Thanks. Hey, back again. Playing with your friends didn't work out, or? Yeah. Well, it is almost 10 o'clock. Everybody needs to go to bed sometime. I didn't figure you were. Let's see. Structure. It does. It happens. Also, sometimes they dump the meat in the non-freezer thing, which is a problem. Well, I got attacked by somebody with a club, and then I beat her to death, and I think she's in a grave here now, so there we go. That's basically all the interesting stuff that happened while you weren't here. I am setting up my blood farm now. That might be interesting. Just making sure that when I capture raiders, they're gonna serve my vampire as, yeah, so a couple of beds for prisoners with a nutrient dispenser so they can't go hungry. And my vampire god, the god of blood, this one, he needs to feed on them every now and then, so I'm gonna literally use them as a blood farm. And as we convert more people to the cause, then they're at some point all going to suffer the same fate. Speaking of which, nah, I only do this to people who try to attack me. So it's basically their own fault. Yep. See, they're guilty anyway. I might as well. Also, my constructor bot is in the charger, so I have to build everything myself now. Yeah, only in video games. You know, there's actually mods for Rimworld where you can do even more despicable things to people. I tend to stay away from those. I mean, basically, you can enslave people, you can murder people. This is a relatively sadistic game if you really think about it. Or at least it allows you to do a lot of very sadistic things. Why is this thing not getting power? Ah, there we go. Do we have any more limestone? Doesn't look like it. Well, I guess mining is in order. I think it has something in common with oxygen not included. Yeah, it's also one of those survival games with relatively sadistic circumstances and solutions, and pretty bad dilemmas sometimes, at least morally speaking. Oh, my cooler isn't getting power, that is a thing. And also one of the reasons I was building these walls in the first place. There we go. Now, there we go. Oh, yes, of course. I need a place to store my toxic waste, which I haven't actually given a lot of thought of yet. You know what I'm gonna do? I'm just gonna dump it outside. That's probably a good idea, right? Nothing could possibly go wrong when you're dumping toxic waste outside. Okay, good, good, good to hear. So, just to check, whose fault was it, yours or hers? Yep, these things happen. Well, I'm glad to hear at least you guys are working things out. Here's another dilemma. Do I give this kid 200 silver so he can free his sister, or do I just enslave him? I can also do that. I can kill him, arrest him, sell him, harvest him without diplomatic consequences. So where is this boy? Because the religion I'm setting up isn't really... Oh, it's an actual kid. He's like 10. Wow. Doesn't like men. Neo-lifism. Eee. Well, yeah, we're living in kind of in an anarchy, but the point in this case is that he doesn't actually belong to any faction. I guess he's an escaped slave or something. So we can do to him whatever the hell we want. Why is this clean sweeper just sort of running? I guess there's nothing to sweep, maybe. Okay, so here we need a Arcist Bloodstone. And we need it to be of steel and slate. And it's got to be done by a super good artist, but I only have two and they're both amazing, so there we go. In the meanwhile, we're gestating a robot that is going to let us do agriculture without spending time doing it with our hands. Of course, the toxic waste isn't going to escape from this building. Nothing could possibly escape from there. I think. I don't know. We'll see. Oh, wait. No, no, no. I don't want you to make it out of steel. Cancel. Make a new one. Make it out of slate. There. Because I have too much slate. Well, I have too much steel too, but stone blocks are literally getting in my way right now. And I'm still out of limestone, right? Yeah. Well, you could do that, of course. But I think I'm actually going to be friendly. Now, while the religion I'm building doesn't necessarily encourage this kind of thing, I'm just a nice guy. Also, sometimes if you're charitable, it can have unintended consequences. Let's see what happens. Alright, in the meantime, we should probably start building the temple that is going to house this grand structure thing. So why don't you go and attack this thing? And mine it all out. Because the idea is that this is going to be the temple right here, and this is going to be the throne room, because obviously at some point royalty is going to come popping in. And then I'm going to need a couple of laboratories, but they go deeper into the mountain because secret stuff is going to go on there. In fact, I think these facilities are going to have to be moved deeper into the mountain at some point. I don't know yet. Generally speaking, I have a tendency to combine my leader and my religious leader. But I think in this playthrough, I'm going to put somebody on the throne who is not either the god of blood or the goddess of machines. Right? This is these two. So whoever I recruit is going to be... Well, if it's somebody with high social skill, they get to lead the colony. And if I don't find anybody suitable, then, you know, maybe these two are going to have a baby, and the baby gets to be the ruler. Because that way, at least, if one of them gets killed, I don't lose the leader and the religious leader and everything at the same time. Alright. I gotta say, a snack actually sounds kind of good right now. I'm gonna grab one myself. Be right back. I got my snacks too. Cookies. chocolate cookies. I had a couple left from the camping trip I was trying to do, and I figured I might as well eat them. Because I have this glove compartment in my motorcycle, and I just put whatever snack or drink I want to bring on my bike. I put it in there, but I always forget I have that stuff in there. So if I don't eat it, it's going to go bad in there, and I'm going to open that compartment in a couple weeks and go like, whoa, what is that? So that is a shame. So it's a good thing you brought up snacks, because now I can eat my snack while I play my game. I'm going to turn off the sound for a bit though, because otherwise chewy noises. There we go. All done eating that cookie. I have actually tried chocolate and banana. It's a pretty good combination. Chocolate and oranges also, and chocolates and red peppers. Oh, and the worst combination, but it actually does work, chocolate and blue cheese. Ah, look, limestone. That's what I needed. Oh, let's not do all the other ones yet, though. What looks spoiled? Blue cheese. Ah, no, I love blue cheese. I don't think it looks spoiled, I just think it looks like blue cheese. Ah, yes, of course, he's being an artist. Of course. I was wondering why the limestone chunks aren't being hauled, but the haul bot is charging. See, this is why we need multiple lifter bots. I don't think there's many people who would say, ooh, a mosquito bite. I love that. Well, looks like our two gods are getting married. That's good. Thank you. I think you said something like that before, but if not, I'm gonna give you credit anyway. Where did the chunks land? Darn it. Right, so he can't hunt because he doesn't have a ranged weapon. Good. This work of art is really taking a long time. It's a good thing we're not in a hurry. Oh yeah, you can recruit people into the religion, but first they have to survive attacking me. Or, here's another thing that I could do. I could install the mod called Hospitality. If I do that, then people can actually come and visit, and then I can entertain them and offer them places to sleep, and they can come and buy my stuff. The problem with that is that it's a mod, so it's not really central gameplay, but the same thing goes for this power generator which I have, which is also a mod, so I guess it's modded anyway. But I built the dinner table just figuring that there would probably at some point be 12 people in this colony. It's just taking a little longer than usual. The thing with Rimworld is you never know what's going to happen. I mean, sometimes people just wander in and decide to join you, and the storyteller I'm using is Cassandra Classic Adventure. Yeah, so she's not making my life very difficult just yet, but she will at some point. Give it time. Can I see the wealth graph? Where is it again? So my total wealth is going up. It is already pretty high. So I would expect, how much wealth or what the storyteller settings are? Because the wealth basically influences how terrible the story gets, as in the storyteller is the thing that decides what happens and when, what threats come my way, stuff like that. The wealth is basically it's a representative of the level that I'm at. So the wealthier my colony is, the more terrible threats come my way. So it's kind of, if you're a wise Rimworld player, which of course I am not clearly, but if you're a wise Rimworld player, then you'll make sure you manage your wealth in such a way that you never become so wealthy that you can't defend your colony. Marble? No, no. Did I say marble? Crap. I want limestone, not marble. There. Gotta make sure all your walls are made of the same material, otherwise you get these weird color differences and it's just bad. I want to say yes. I'm not entirely sure though. I'm actually building the walls for aesthetic reasons, because you can also just smooth a wall from the existing rock. But I'm building them all from the same blocks of stone so that they all look the same. Which is a thing that I like. I like it when they all look the same. It's kind of uniform, you know. Hey, is that done? I think that's done. I think the lark should probably be, you know, decanting this mechanoid, so that I can then also tell my humans that they don't have to do so much plant work anymore. So this is an agri hand, which I cannot directly control, but it's probably going to do everything it needs to in the field. And this is the Archist Bloodstone, which goes in my temple. Right there, I think. And I just thought that one of my mechanoids sounded like an Imperial probe droid, but that could just be me. Not really. I'm not really into horror movies. It really does kind of depend on the movie, of course. I mean, there's horror movies and horror movies, but generally speaking, if I have a choice between going to a horror movie and other movies, I recently went and saw Oppenheimer, which I thought was a pretty good movie. I am a massive fan of basically anything that comes out of Marvel. I was going to see those with my son. Gosh. I don't know, I generally like it when a movie has a bit of substance. If the movie just exists to scare me, then I'll usually pass, because that's not what I'm looking for in a movie. Why is he wasting time? Oh, it's lunchtime. Okay. Nope. I don't think I've seen The Nun or The Nun 2 or any other Nun movies. I've seen Sister Act though. That's a Nun movie. Does that count? Kinda no. Yeah, I get it. Oh look, my agribot is now suddenly doing something useful because I told it to go cut some plants. So I'm almost out of... Yeah, it's a fun. It's a fun movie, right? Generally speaking, I don't necessarily always go for the musicals, right? But Sister Act was fun. So it's time to create our altar. Obviously, we will create it out of slate. And it will be here, right next to the terrible thing. I can take out the plan now. And I guess I'm gonna have to clear up this area too. I do wonder when the next people are gonna show up though. Yeah. So I thought that last Ghostbusters movie was entertaining, but not super. I like the original ones with Sigourney Weaver and everything. With what was it again? The Keymaster and the Gatekeeper and the big snarly ghost dogs. I also quite enjoy basically anything that's a Mel Brooks movie. So Spaceballs. Oh no, not a heat wave. How do I solve that? I think air conditioning is probably my solution. Air conditioning. That is what this needs. Let's see. Make a nice vent here. And put in some air cons. Right there. That ought to keep things cool. So I just noticed I had my microphone off and I was having an entire conversation with myself. This of course happens when you turn off your mic anytime you have a cookie. So notice that Ren actually created a slate grand sculpture that is shaped like a skin, and the work is infused with the idea of failure and is done in a sinuous style. I love that the little jokey things that they do with this art stuff. You earlier you expressed appreciation for my sense of humor. I really enjoy the sense of humor in Rimworld because it's a game that is both very sadistic, but it also doesn't take itself too seriously. It's just um, it just comes up with these explanations that are just totally randomly generated and so funny. Yes, I think I've got that covered. Thank you, tooltip. Makes a meme out of itself, exactly. By the way, when you are making your religion, like, I mean, this is the first foundation of my religion, and every time I add every time I do some things that are nice and religious, then I get points, and then I can upgrade or expand or reform, as they call it, my religion. But each of these little things where you say, okay, blood feeding is important in this religion, they call it memes. So I have to add memes to my ideologian, my religion, whatever you want to call it, to expand it, to make it bigger. So it's basically, it's all memes. I've already got 15 toxic waste packs here. I wonder what I need to do with these toxic waste packs. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to make sure that I can store up to 3 times as many toxic waste packs in that little area right there. So these are going to be my No! I can't put toxic waste on shelves. Okay, well, I guess they just wanted to make it even harder to get rid of toxic waste. It looks like this needs to be a little bit more centered in my Temple of Holy Darkness. There you go. This is where it needs to be. And there's definitely a robot somewhere here that sounds like it is an Imperial probe droid. I think it's this one. I'm gonna guess at early 20s. Am I far off? I honestly don't know. Well, congrats, you had me fooled then. Implant genes? I'm sorry, what is the question you're asking? Oh, well, I can, so this guy over here is a vampire, right? Or the equivalent of a vampire in Rimworld. He drinks blood. You just saw him actually consume a blood pack while he was sitting over there. I don't have anybody I don't like yet, so I'm not gonna farm the other god here, Lark, for blood. I'm gonna lock a bunch of people in here and then basically suck them dry every time. But this guy has interesting genes. Make him drink slightly later. And I can implant those same name. I can what? Weirdly similar name to you? Yeah, that would be my main character, and Lark is just another kind of bird. So I figured I'd play a vampire this time, but you can't first person this game. So anyway, he can take his genes and implant them in somebody else, and then that person also becomes a vampire. It's basically how he spreads vampirism. And the same thing can be done with many different other genetic things. I mean, there's an entire gene editor in this game now, this is the reason I'm playing it tonight, is because I've actually just installed the expansion, I forget the name of it again, but the most recent one, which does babies and genetics and stuff like that. And I can genetically edit my colonists as well. I can turn them into Neanderthals or pigmen or stuff like that. I don't actually have any devices where I can play with this stuff yet right now, but I can tell you that this guy is heavily edited. He's basically a template vampire. I forget what they call it, sanguiphage or something. He's a blood drinker. Whereas she is a regular baseline human. You see that here, so baseliner. Just a regular human, whereas he is ageless, deathless, superhuman, powered by Archotech, created archites in the bloodstream, blah 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 blah. So apparently I should not set him on fire because he's easily destroyed by fire. And he needs to sleep in a coffin every now and then, because that is what vampires do. Why is there all blood over here? Oh, that's from the biotech. Yeah, thanks. That's the name of it. Biotech. So I basically have all three of the expansions of this game now, and I used to play only with Royalty and Ideal Legend, so I'm sort of exploring biotech today. But I want my temple to be ready as well. I'm just going to put this over here. So on one side of the temple there is the great statue, on the other there is the altar. And we're going to be needing some pews. See, now we also have school desks and baby decorations and toy boxes and stuff. I didn't have that before. Where were we? Oh yes, pew. There. That should house 6 worshippers, and it's going to be a while before we get 6 worshippers. Go, plant bot, feed the people. What are we gestating here again? Oh yes, another lifter. Good. Yep, definitely an Imperial Probroid somewhere. That is because the universe just hates you. It's the only reason I can think of that. I actually never get recommendations for Christmas music, so I think it must be you. Alright, let's see if we can do this thing. So, morbid sandstone tiles. What does that even look like? I don't know. Put them in somewhere. This would also be nice. Nice morbid sandstone slab there. And let's make it a steel. Can we make it out of stone? Steel lectern right there. And then we'll make the marriage spot right there, so people can get married in the temple. Also, these need to go. Why are there 2 steel slag chunks here? Lifter, constructor, green sweeper, agrihand, and okay, so yeah. I was afraid I might have crushed one of my mechanoids, but I didn't. That's good. That must have been the car that I removed there. Dentibium, is that a nice faction? Yeah, that's a nice faction. I should probably not anger them by turning her into a blood fountain. Oh good, another lifter. So now we have 2 robots that are always hauling shit. My temple is almost complete. Or at least the first version of it. There we go. Alright, now all it needs is some atmosphere. How about some nice burning braziers? There. I'm growing cotton, good, just checking. Alright, so on the left is going to be the throne room for when there's some kind of a coronation going on. Which means I now need to start thinking about my research laboratory. Now I think that the laboratory in this case attack this. Okay, so attack. Okay, and now you're gonna attack this. Now, sometimes you gotta ask yourself, what would a more intelligent person do in this situation? And in this case, I honestly have no idea, so I'm just gonna do it my way. Oh, I only just realized I can actually build a safe shuttle pad now. Nice. So when I do get missions from the Shattered Empire, then at least I will be able to have them land safely even if there's an outbreak of Scaria or something. So it happened to me some time ago. I was doing a quest, and I had this group of people from the Empire come over to give me a crown because I was being awesome or something. I don't remember exactly what I did, but the moment they touched down, I think it was 24 man-eating guinea pigs or something appeared on the edge of the map. So while we were inside for the ceremony, everything was fine, but then they had to go outside and get in their ship again. And then they were swarmed by 24 man-eating guinea pigs, which is something that even the great people of the Empire cannot actually easily fight off. It's kind of weird seeing that. Yeah, it's bad. I don't want to know what it would be like to be swarmed by man-eating guinea pigs. It just sounds very scary to me. I guess that's why they call the disease Scaria. I don't know why. It's just a guess. Okay, so I am going to research stuff. Ren, really, did you just lock yourself out of the base? Yes, you did. Just admit it. Can't work on this because no wood, obviously. Well then, go chop some wood. Do I have enough wood for that? I think so, but suddenly I'm in doubt. You know what? Chop down all the trees here anyway. Oh yeah, I'd forgotten there was a heat wave outside. Apparently the temple is 42 degrees. Wow. I guess my two coolers didn't do what I want anyway. Let's see how sad she is about eating that food. -4 with... Well, as long as she gets a lot of loving, there's nothing wrong with that. How happy is Ren? Also doing pretty good. Yeah, we need slaves. Clearly we need slaves. I'll get to work on that as soon as I can. Oh yeah, we have a robot that does that work now. Yeah, it's true. Oh look! Haha, we have a couple of slaves coming to say hi, we're your slave. They're even wearing weird broad wrap head thingies. Okay, we're gonna see if we can enslave at least some of these 5 people. Also, I need a research project, obviously. What was it that I wanted them to do again? Yep, see you in a bit. darn it. I did it again. What is this? No, let's not do that. Oh good, this was one is unwaveringly loyal, so I probably can't convert them to my cause. I just destroyed his leg by beating him with a club. Wow. Well, we're gonna have to discover the concept of prosthetics. Okay, this guy is gonna need saving in a bit too, but he's not in immediate danger. Alright. There we go. Now, this is gonna need to work again. These are from the Tona Confederacy. Well, darn it. Alright, we need to fix that leg. Now that Tona Confederacy, what kind of a tribe is that? Natural enemy. Alright, you know what? I don't need to be friends with the Tona Confederacy. I am going to use... Let's see. Sam is unwaveringly loyal, so that means that Sam is going to be a blood feed prisoner. Gazelle is unwaveringly loyal. Salamander has high resistance, but he can actually be recruited. But do I want him? He's a caring slowpoke. Uncaring slowpoke, my bad. Probably because he was a vengeful child. Alright, you know what? I am going to convert this one to my religion. The other two... The other two get to be my blood-sucking targets. What am I building? Oh, research thing. Constructoid and a Minotaur. Okay. Oh yeah, he's the guy with the missing leg. So this one, basically okay, but we cannot recruit them because they are too loyal. Okay. Yeah, I'll get him a prosthetic leg. I just need to figure out how to build one. I kind of like this concept of just being able to do research while the robots handle the colony. Oh dear, I think I started streaming for the first time. I honestly don't exactly remember, but I think it was only a couple months ago. September, I think. I don't know, I think I did a few recordings in July as well, June or July. And then I didn't do anything for a while, and then I picked it up again. But Twitch actually automatically deletes the videos after a while, so you won't find anything that I recorded at the time. Oh yeah, we still have 2 corpses lying out here. There we go. Let's dig some graves, dump them in there. And I think we should probably expand the toxic waste dump because we are going to definitely be creating more toxic waste with all these mechanoids. But this out right here is going to be the lab. I just need to invent all the gene stuff. Let's get a power supply up to the lab. Oh yes, this needs 4 columns, otherwise it's not an effective altar. I've already found out a weird thing, but, you know, must be a religious thing. Columns, slate columns, of course. That's so I can have dance parties in my temple, which are a thing, dance parties in temples, clearly. Yeah. Well, you know, if it was a cannibal society, which I had been thinking of creating as well, there would probably also be some gladiator fights or human sacrifice involved. That may not happen in this society yet, so. It's not as bad as it could be. Okay, so Lark is talking to this guy. You know, it's probably time that I induct Ren into the role of great leader. These are prisoners. I caught 3 out of the 5 that were attacking me. The other 2 are now going to be buried here. Oh, that reminds me. Generally speaking, I take the clothing away from people who I've imprisoned. Not that I want to see naked people or anything, it's just that this is a good way for me to get some free clothing by taking it off people I've captured. And I should probably find a place to store that stuff as well. Why is it so hot there anyway? How much of this do I have? Oh, look, I should be able to build 2 good research benches. You know what? I should probably move the door. Ah, don't worry. I won't dry out. Ah, good. Finally. That is kind of incongruous, isn't it? Nation of Bacambo. Do I like these people? I guess I'm neutral to them. Well, that is too bad. Can't do anything horrible to her. Good point. I could, but I won't. You know, the next time I reform my ideologian, you know what, this salamander guy, I'm not gonna recruit him or anything. I'm gonna enslave him. We need slaves. Hey, did I even define that? Yeah, slavery is honorable good. So if I enslave 10 people, I get to reform my ideologian, which is good. I'll consider that a milestone. Oh yeah, I can tell slaves what to do. I can just give them a work schedule just like everybody else. Except I don't have to be nice to them. Also, they can... They actually do things that they wouldn't normally do. So for example, if you have a character that would normally not clean or haul or anything, then they will do it if they're enslaved. So it's basically a good way to get unskilled labor if you can't find good ones. Normally speaking, by this time, there's been a ton of quests. I think Cassandra Classic is not in a hurry today. Well, yeah, of course. But I'm gonna enslave the guy with no legs, and then I'll give him a prosthetic leg. Yeah, that was the thing I wanted to do. The prosthetics, smithing and then machining and then, okay, good. All that, build that, there we go. Oh no, I need sterile materials first. That was the thing I was gonna research. It's kind of funny to see all these characters moving around and only actually have 2 characters. So the robots, I can't tell them what to do. They just do whatever the hell their programming tells them to do. But my characters... Goats! Goats? Why would a bunch of goats join me? And it's like, there's 4 why would 4 goats suddenly join me? I don't know, but hey, I'm not gonna look a gift goat in the mouth. Where should I stick him? This is probably a nice goat pen. This place is bigger though. I'm gonna do hydroponics at some point anyway, but let's start with a goat pen over here. Goat capacity 5.6. Good. As for this one, would have a goat capacity of 12. Alright, have a good night. See you again soon. Hope you work everything out with your girlfriend. Oh, that's fine. Always interested in hearing stories. I'll try not to butt in too much, though. What happens between you and your girlfriend is your affair, not mine. See ya.